found two church members were police officers, and then my brother-in-law became a police officer.
Okay.
So I had to say, okay, I can't. At first it was, well, these police officers I'm okay with, but the rest I hate them.
But then your hate towards the police officers, your dislike of them, was only because, you ever looked at, because that they tricked you to get to the truth?
Yeah.
And what couldn't that be called a approach towards your healing? Because had they not gotten to you,
Yeah, well,
what would have happened?
Well, that was the thing. The other thing that it was, I believe the Holy Spirit told me, you reap what you sow.
Sure.
And
you said that in the book
from
also.
the moment, because there was times when my mother kind of guessed. She didn't know it was child porn, but she kind of knew I was looking at porn, and she would ask me, and I would tell her no.
Well, let me ask you something. Along the lines of 17, let's say about 23 years old, your mother never come to you and say, why isn't there a girl knocking at the door?
No.
Never. Are you close to your mother?
Yes.
And she never wondered why there was never a girl? Never questioned you about that?
No.
Wow.
No one ever did.
And why do you think that is?
I don't. Family-wise, I don't know.
Because all right, let's take your sister from 17 to 25. Did she have a boyfriend?
Yeah.
Okay, so she had a boyfriend,
Mm-hmm.
a male boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Your brother from 17 to 25, did he have a girlfriend?
Yes.
So then, so
Really,
what's up? I mean, did you ever ask your mother, maybe
I
that's...
never did, and it never really crossed my mind. Like I said, family-wise, because, cousins, aunts, uncles, no one ever asked me that.
But then, I mean, okay, if my brother had a girlfriend from 17 to 25, got married, whatever. My sister had a boyfriend from 17 to 25. Now, you the baby, I imagine.
Yes.
So, shouldn't somebody say, well, what's up with Casey? Why he don't have... Oh,
The first time I actually heard that was when I had to go to counseling. And the counselor asked me that,
the counselor asked you that.
Right, that
Yeah.
in this society, America, at a certain age, they expect you to start, if not dating, at least looking. And, he asked, do you consider yourself weird for not? And
I think that's in all societies.
I knew, like I said, I knew for myself
Mm-hmm.
that I should have been, and I should have been preparing myself
Sure.
for my wife. But I just wasn't ready.
If you didn't feel it, though, I mean, I'm taking it off of you at this point. If you didn't feel it, you didn't feel it. But at some point, shouldn't somebody say, well,
Yeah.
okay, what about high school prom?
Yeah, I went, had a date.
A girl date?
Yes.
Okay, you did the high school
Yeah.
prom thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it was just that mutual agreement that y'all would go on a date.
Yeah.
Okay, that's how that was.
It wasn't
Wasn't
a
a
girlfriend.
girlfriend
It
or
was
whatever.
just, in fact, she was a year ahead of me.
Sure.
It was senior. She already had graduated.
Okay. And, so she went.
She
Oh, okay. I
had
said already.
friends,
Right.
and they wanted her to go.
Oh, so that's how that was.
So that's
okay.
how it happened.
Oh.
I had two friends, female friends, who I asked, but they already had dates.
Oh, okay.
So at that point, I said, I don't think I'm going.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean,
But
the prom is a big thing.
Right.
A big thing for young man and everything. Who you gonna take to his prom? I took, I hate to say it right there, probably gonna mess me up, but I took 3 girls to my prom. I even tried to take another one, and it wasn't my fault. I had asked them at different points in the year. I started in 1981. And then I asked one, I didn't see her for a while. Asked another, didn't see her for a while. And then, right before prom, they came and told me that they had dresses and they were going. I said, well, we going. And I went to pick up a 4th one that backed out.
Oh.
She had already graduated, but she backed out of it. She would,
Yeah.
But I felt like I was the man. I walked in there, God have mercy, couldn't tell me. I thought you couldn't tell me nothing. So after that, you think that might have been something that bothers you that your parents, that your family never asked you why? You don't think that that's
I didn't
weighed
think
on
about
you?
it till now, until you mentioned it.
I want you to do something. We got a few more minutes with this show. I want you to ask your mother why. I want you to ask your brother why. I want you to ask your sister why. I think this right here could be a part of your healing. What was it that you didn't see in me? You understand? Like I come up quite different than you, Casey. I come up very poor, very impoverished. In fact, we would pronounce a small P and a big O. Pow. Understand? You understand me?
Yeah.
The O was real big, man, and the P was small. Pow. And I remember being groomed to pull shopping cart, and my mother grooming me to pull that cart, and she would say little things that, one day you're going to be big enough to pull this cart. You know what I mean? You keep eating this food that I put here, you're going to be strong enough to knock the boy's head off, Well, those that bother with you, mothers get you set up now.
Yeah.
She said, you're going to be strong enough. You keep eating that. I kept eating that food thinking that one day. So when I got older, well, some of the bullies, Mom had already put that in my mind.
Yeah.
So I was waiting. I said, oh, you bumped into me. I didn't, yes, you did.
Yeah.
I was crazy, But, or even pulling the cart. And I think that one of the things that happened with me because of those things that was downloaded in me, if we will today, mentally download that this is what you're supposed to do. I never forget my mother was months from going home to glory. I was able to pay all her bills. And I felt so, wow, hey, yes, I'm paying all my mother's bills. I felt good. You know what I mean? It was a good thing to be able to do that. But, that's something that most, and women like it, although women say that they don't. They like to have a son that all the girls go crazy over. Right. You know what I mean? They like that right there. All them girls always call up for him. My mother would say that all the time, and stuff. And she talked to her nieces and stuff and asked about their kids and what their kids do, and stuff, and it's I don't know what you call it, because women would say that they don't want the player type or whatever the case may be, but then they like to have a son that all girls are knocking on the door, so I want you to just think on that right there and pray on that and ask your family why you never ask, because that could be part of your healing, because I believe that you're on your way of, you're on the journey to healing now. Let me ask you this question here. You're 30 years old. Have you ever had an experience with a woman?
No.
Are you seeking an experience?
I thought about it many times, but even though I'm not a 100% virgin, I really want my wife to be the first woman I'm with.
Okay.
And so that's why
So you just want to go right into getting married?
What do you mean? Well, yeah, I don't want...
You don't want the dating and all that, really?
5, 6, 7, 8 girls, and then I want to make sure...
Oh, but I'm saying, not 5 and 6 being a player.
No, I mean, I'm saying together break up another person. Together break up a second person. I don't want to do that. I seriously, when I'm ready, right now my focus is on, which unfortunately it should have been my focus instead of, the sex and the porn. My focus now is working on my career and my businesses. And I told God, when I get to the point where I can financially provide for me, my wife, and even if we're not going to have children right away, then I will begin to look. But also in the process of me getting my career together, I know I need to really finish healing and dealing with this so that this baggage is not with me when I find it.
So you think that in today's world, where we can watch this video in about a day, because it's going to take some time to cut it and upload and everything, well, we can watch this video here on our telephones. We can watching on our telephones, we can send a message from here to anywhere in the world within seconds. You think, even with your journey that you did have, you think that you just need to meet one woman and just go. You don't think you need a journey with dating and a journey with heartbreaking? Do you think that, would you feel as the masculine in the relationship? Or do you understand me?
Well, no, I don't feel, no. As far as the dating and the heartbreaking, no. I think that a lot of times when people date and then break up, they're looking for something, and they're trying to find it in that person. And whatever you're missing, that person can't really give it to you. You got to be whole.
Whole yourself.
Before you, meaning you shouldn't be looking for someone to fill you or complete you.
Sure.
You need to be complete already. And if I am dating and breaking up and having, not all at the same time, but 5, 6 girlfriends, that means I'm still trying to feel something that I'm not dealing with. And so that's why I said I need to make sure I've dealt with everything. I've forgiven everyone. Regardless, like I said, I've forgiven him. I've forgiven police officers because I realized, I did lying, and if it was the lying was coming back to me.
They were just using a strategy
right.
to capture you.
I've gotten over that.
Yeah.
And so now it's just a self thing of realizing that I got to move forward. I can't keep lying to myself,
Sure.
denying what I've done. I can't keep hating myself because of what happened. Once I'm fixed and I'm whole, I believe now I can find someone who hopefully will be whole when I find her.
Sure.
And I don't believe in secrets, especially in a marriage. So I'm willing to share everything with her, and I'm hoping, because no one's perfect.
Sure.
I'm sure she's not going to come perfect.
Right.
And I'm willing to, whatever she's dealing with, we can deal with it together. And like I said, I've always desired, that was one of the other things the counselor asked me when he was saying, shouldn't you be dating? He asked me, have you ever desired? And I said, I've always, not always, but at a certain point, I've desired a wife and children. And not just to have it, but to really, not just to have it because you're supposed to, but I really do have that desire. And I believe if I wasn't thrown off the track so much, I wouldn't have all this other stuff. And chances are, I always say, I think I would have been a little bit further in my life. But you live, you learn.
Well, Casey, we'll get back to the police officers one minute. I'm like a civil rights reverend, and I fought a lot against what I thought police done wrong. If you would have come to me and asked and tried to pursue some kind of legal action against the police or protest, I would have to tell you that I would have declined you, because I think that what they did, that they saved you, although they told you a fib to get you to confess. But I think that, Casey, that you really needed to confess that, because today a lot of kids are messed up because of child pornography. And they don't know what level where you at psychologically. You understand what I mean?
I completely understand. The only thing is that I believe that because I would have confessed regardless, because they had the computer.
Right.
So there was no way I could hide it.
Sure.
But it would have been nice if they would have gave me a chance to confess it to a lawyer, because the law is the law, and I no matter what I believe right is right, wrong is wrong. And when you have to do wrong, even though, yes, it was, the point was to get what they wanted. But when you got, because even if, which I wasn't thinking at the time, I could have easily said, they coerced me, I asked for a lawyer. Everything I said would have been admissible.
Sure.
And then they could have lost everything. And so that's why I truly believe, yes, it was wrong that they lied to me. And yes, in certain ways, people say it was a good thing because they got what they needed.
They got. I think it.
But I just don't believe in. I'm like, when you're someone who people trust, you don't want to break that trust.
Well, I think
Because now for me, if I see something wrong